project open mic. Let's get the show off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause
it's project open mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
Let's get the topic straight, let's get things good, let's do everything that we should.
It's project open mic. Let's get the show off right.
Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight.
It's project open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project open mic. Let's get the show off right. It's project open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project open mic. Let's get the show off right. It's project open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project open mic. Let's get the show off right.
All right, what is going on? YouTube, Facebook, and Tempo FM. Sorry for the late start. It's malfunctioning stuff. It's kind of it. Today has been a weird day. After that, it's been a long day at my regular job. To this, it's just been one of those days. But again, let's just get into some of the subjects we're gonna do tonight. So hopefully I'll try to put this together in a short little pack form. Like I said, I apologize for the late start. So settled in for some craziness tonight, as basically I predicted what was gonna happen. Am I surprised? No. Am I shocked? No. You're looking at a white man pretending to be a black face. So that's just what it is. I put the white man have black face on. Just remember to know that if you know where that reference comes from, then you're smart enough to understand where I'm coming from. If you're not, you didn't really care about stuff. That's just what it is. So let me get a question here, because I have to apologize on this, because let's say I had to rush to catch back up. Want to make you might hear the double talk just to make sure that I'm not giving you guys any back feed. Okay, I'm good. That's all I needed to know. All right. So let's go straight in. Like I said, we're gonna go straight into our stuff tonight. What we're talking about. So with that said, let me go with my predictions that I said a while ago back. I said on something like this week recording, you go back and check to see that I was correct about it. I said that seeing how this thing's gonna work out, at the beginning of November 3rd, they're gonna show President Trump's gonna be in the lead, and and Biden's gonna be not far behind. And I stated, then after the mail-in votes get counted in, then they're going to turn towards Biden's going to look like he's going to win, and Trump's going to lose. Okay. Am I surprised by that? No. Again, I already told you all. I already showed you a video last time, and I showed all the stuff about how all these people, all these industries are against one man, and they bend the rules, which is a lot. And am I surprised that the it's taking more to count the numbers? Yeah, in 2000, between Al Gore and President George Bush, it was basically a month before everything was settled, and that was just one state. We have multiple states. That's it is crazy. Let me double check at the latest. So, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Alaska. Now, it's looking like Alaska, for some miracle reason, North Carolina and Alaska was red, but okay, first let's attack this first. The media called to say, hey, Joe Biden is our president. Me, I have no problem against that to degrees. I'll take it what I gotta take it in, but I don't like the hypocrisy, and I don't like this. I don't like the pretending that you're. Like I said, I hate when people just literally think I'm literally stupid, so they just make it annoying. Just pretentious, annoying is craziness to me. I hate it. It's under my intelligence is the one of the traits that super ticks me off. But we'll see what's going on with Pennsylvania. Arizona was weird, which I'll talk about that. Georgia, don't think that'll go towards Trump. But again, there was craziness in that because again, how they changed their rules again before it with Stacey Abrams, who through this committee helped get the Georgia committee to change the rules of taking ballots 3 days after the election. Not cool. Not cool. But what can I say? They bend the rule. They did everything, even bend the rules and everything to get Joe Biden to win. Me personally, like I said, is what it is. I'm just basically getting my money in a certain way, stack it up, do what I did, work extra hours, do all kind of stuff, and I hope you do the exact same too, because it's gonna be if I'm gonna go through a prediction of what will happen, because it's not even a prediction. He said it before the election, and now he's setting up everything to say what he's gonna do with the election. Oh, again, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I calls as I see when I see things. So, I mean, North Carolina, basically they recounted it once. It's supposed to go to the orange man that people don't like, but they're trying to swing it again. So we'll see. Whatever. So I made another statement that I got some comments on, and people I want to respectfully talk to say about those things, which is I've said it before and I say it a million times. So not a million times. That'll be exaggerating. I said it before and I said it a lot of times before. It's just saying though, but I said 94% of journalists. This is I played it with a Stossel video I played a while ago back. Pew did a 94% of journalism in media for Democrat. 94%. That includes Fox News. People don't remember that. Forget. People think that out because the comments was like, "Well, Fox is conservative, whatever." No. Fox does news. The opinion shows are conservative. The news is not. That's why. See, that's the problem. A lot of people just think they're conservative. They don't watch them. I always say you get your news from different sources. That's what I always said. And I always said it on this channel. Always said on this show. Said before on Radio T3 when I had that radio show. Get your news sources from different sources and balance it out. But that really do two things. One, it takes time. I get that. A lot of people don't have time. I understand that. I respect that. Number two, it takes critical thinking. And they are, at this point in America, they are killing critical thinking like crazy. They don't even want that in your stuff. They're killing critical thinking right now. So, we have that. So, with that said, let me just go straight with the Fox News stuff and prove my point. Like I said, they're not. They lie just as much as anybody else. I always said that. Like everybody has this spin. I've said that multiple times on this show and past shows. Again, you want to fact check me? Go back to you can go to Project Open Mic. Like I said, you can see it right there. Project Open Mic YouTube. Go back to the past shows. You will hear me say this about like every place I've spent is up to you to make the changes. Okay. So let's go. Well, like I said, let's just go with the debunking first with Fox News and get it out of the way. Cause just let's keep the show precise and keep it going. All right. Fox News. Chris Wallace, who said to me in the first debate, which was a dumpster fire. But I gave the first debate to Joe Biden. But let's just keep straight. Let's keep the facts straight, please.
Here's what happened. You know, we began the first segment on the Supreme Court. They each got their 2 minutes, and they both obeyed in that particular case. Then Biden started to answer a question, and the president started interrupting him.
Oh, really? The professor, that's how he went, huh? Okay, well, let's go. Let's see let's happen. Biden talked. Trump didn't say nothing. Now Trump is talking. Remember, he said Trump interrupted Biden first. And again, you could go to C-SPAN to watch all this stuff, whatever. I'm just putting this clip to quick so we could just go through these as quick as can.
And the Senate is elected for a period of time, but a president's elected for 4 years. We're not elected for 3 years. I'm not elected for 3 years. So we have the Senate, we have a president.
He's elected to the next
during
election.
that.
Excuse me, I thought that was it. Who interrupted? Oh, that guy interrupted first. And I thought Fox was for the orange man.
That period of time, during that period of time, we have an opening. I'm not elected for 3 years. I'm elected for 4 years.
The
and the 100 million people, Joe, the 100 million people is
twice he interrupted.
Totally wrong. I don't know where you got that number.
Okay, that's one. That's one. So Chris Wallace, you're wrong. Let's go to another one. With this one which I debunked. Super debunk about the whole stuff, but I like the double talk, and I love oh my goodness, I love the double talk and these smug pieces of crap journalists.
Make a declarative statement that that the president denounces it.
I just did. The president has denounced this repeatedly. The president was asked this. You're contriving a
that the president denounces it.
I just did. The president has denounced this repeatedly. The president was asked this. You're contriving a storyline and a narrative.
I'm just asking you to put this to rest.
I just did. I read you all of the quotes, and if you need to see them in writing, I will put them in an email.
Put those to rest. All of you on Twitter who are hammering me for asking that question, I don't care, because it's a question that needs to be asked, and clearly the president's Republican colleagues a mile away from here are looking for an answer for it too. So stop deflecting, stop blaming the media.
Well, let's blame the media because I debunked that thing. And what the question was, the whole white supremacist nonsense again. He denounced it every time. He's done it multiple times, but the media just keeps on going. That's Fox News now saying the exact same thing as I said with MSNBC. All those people who lied. I played the montage in the last video of the whole white supremacy crap. Even people who heard him say it right there live on TV, seeing it, the guy from ABC said it 17 years ago. He asked that same question, same person. That's what I don't like. But there you go. Fox News does that as well too. Oh, lies? Yes. They're good at lies as well too. Am I surprised? Not really. People say, oh, they should be what was it they say? Oh, they should be these are not I forgot what they call it. These are just news. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, the Fox News tell lies and all that stuff. I agree. And as I just showed you twice there, I just showed you that. But here's the problem. Y'all saying they lie because of, oh, they're conservative. No, they lie because they do exactly like ABC, MSNBC, all these stations does the exact same thing. That's why I said you got to break down the spin, critical thinking. It's gone. A lot of the people and the kids now, millennials and below, they're not using critical thinking at all. They're smart kids. They can use your cell phone with the quickness. They can do all kind of stuff. Can they critical think? No. Do they know how to balance a checkbook? No. Do you know about simple economics? No. That's why I did 3 parts. 3, count them, 3 parts of why we fail our children because of nonsense like this. Here's another one. Catherine Murdoch. Wait a minute, Catherine Murdoch. Let me see. Rupert Murdoch's Fox News. He's passed away. His game. Oh, we did it. Owner of, part owner of the whole thing with the brothers and everything. I agree with this. Yeah, who doesn't normally agree taking our competition? And the Murdochs, the people of Fox News are obliged to put their country above their profits, which is bull ass. These kids are not like Murdoch, the original Rupert Murdoch. These kids have been, let's put it, they're finally bred to be pieces of crap. That's the best way I could put it. Yeah. Important. There doesn't credit evidence beside a fraud. Widespread fraud. Yes, they are. I did that video. Go check last video. I showed it. Once again, that's the second time I showed there were the frauds. I still want to know why the heck they were putting up cardboard so people could not see into count. What? Transparency, they say. My butt. But, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. And then of course, the other part with not with it's the same thing with Kayleigh McEnany was talking about it, and Navuto literally turned away from what she was saying. This is the part that killed me. Everybody always like, we want transparency in the government. And I will tell you this without a shadow of doubt. Again, yes, did the President Trump go on Twitter and say a lot of stuff? Do I like it? So when it first started, I didn't like it. I was like, that's crazy. But you know what? At least I know what the damn president was thinking. It wasn't going through no damn filter like all the past presidents. I mean, I'm talking about left and right, Republican, Democrat, Barack, Bush, Clinton, Bush Sr. They were all going through filters. I don't like that in most cases, but that's just, we didn't want it. You wanted that. Again, the head of the New York Times, before she dropped down from the New York Times, what it was, she said, remember, President Barack Obama said, I'm going to be a straightforward and transparent president. That was a lie. Big old lie. Because what she said was he was the most secretive president in modern history. Former head and owner of New York Times. You can go check her out and see that. Show that a while back, but again, that's what happened. So why is the news media always cutting away? Why the news media always stopping stuff when the president talk? Let it happen. And this is where you get that stupid stuff of, like I said, they hang themselves and you get this much people voted. Because, again, example, talking about the virus, President Trump was talking about disinfectant that can inject, which was the solar UV, the UV ray transfusion they use to try to clean out virus and stuff through your bloodstream and everything. Did he say it correctly? No. He said can you use that to disinfect inside of your blood? You can take your blood. Yeah. The way it sound was a question. It sounded stupid. Could we just play that and let that be what it is? No, we could not. The news media cut away and they say, oh, he said Lysol. He never said Lysol. Yeah, and Kamala Harris, oh, I'm not doing it. He said you could put bleach in your. He never said that either. That's the part. When you take away stuff and you create your own stuff, the truth gets hidden. And another one is the truth keeps on going more and more. The lies keep on going until it becomes truth, which is not. That's not right. But my point of saying that is just how crazy this thing is. You cut away. She's like, where are they gonna quit without showing for? They are. Hell, he just won a case in Pennsylvania. President Trump just won a case in Pennsylvania. Can this be what it is? We'll see. But it is fraud, and there's no system. There's and the Dems, as I played again last week, shows, hey, well, all it is for the ID, check stuff, blah. Oh, no, that's racist. Black people don't know how to use a computer or a cell phone or none of that junk. What? Again, I'm not black. I'm a white person wearing blackface because of what Joe Biden said. Just letting you know. But let's look at the thinking of some of these people, right? These people who are journalists. I'll play from the guy's perspective. He's reading it because if you're reading on your screen, you see. If you could read that, you understand what the heck I am seeing. But if you can't see because of the screen and everything, I'll play because the guy is reading it for you.
It is possible for a story to be factually accurate and for it to be part of a misinformation campaign aimed at undermining confidence in an election.
No, and I'm with him too. Your brain maybe just had a mistake right there. What the hell is that? What did he just read?
You heard me correctly, but let me just repeat what he said. For the conservatives who are mad about this, yes, it is possible for a story to be factually accurate.
Factually accurate.
And at the same time, for it to be part of a misinformation campaign. There could.
Oh, well, I'm telling you, they're doing your job really good for you, sir. You could be factually accurate, but still misinformation. How? It's accurate. This is a black mic. That's accurate. How am I misleading you by saying this is a black mic? Huh? Maybe I'm mistaken again. That's white, right? That's factually white. How am I misleading you that this is not white? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I really don't know. But that's what we got. That's what we got. How that works, don't it? And remember what I said? They got their remember I told you how all these people do stuff?
Hillary Clinton advisor Ben Rhodes is also upset that conservatives are still allowed on Facebook, saying, quote, it will take a generation to undo the damage that Facebook has done to American democracy and discourse. YouTube's corporate darling Philip DeFranco is
one of the top YouTubers, of course, makes his money off of YouTube. So, of course, and he always thought, oh, I'm factually, no, you're not, Franco. You're a piece of crap just like anybody else. Stop.
Also calling on conservatives to be censored. He did an entire video complaining that YouTube did not remove several reports from One American News about the election.
Yeah.
Saying that demonetizing them wasn't enough. He wanted the videos taken down.
And then you want to know why why I said again a couple of times ago, people are in bubbles. This is the reason why, because you're in bubbles. How am I supposed to know if this is good or not if I don't hear the dissenting forms? That's why I created Project Overmic so we could have different whatever. Project Overmic itself. This show is basically a main show going straight, but you do have, like I said, the show is Side Chat where we talk about it. And again, I have no problem. People have a conversation. Let's talk about this. I have no problem with that. As long as you ain't being a total jerk or whatever. And there's a lot of times people have commented when they used to do the old show and everything. I say, hey, all right, let's have this conversation. My face here, your face here. Let's talk about this. Oh, we don't. Oh, I can't. But you say I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's my point. Prove me wrong. And if I'm wrong, and you prove me wrong, I'll be the first to say, hey, you know what? Okay, your evidence is very compelling, and I get where you're coming from. But if you ain't, if you ain't let me see what's going on, it's a problem.
YouTube, sorry, YouTube, keep signing those checks. They have
them checks to you. Weird how that works out. So that's all you do is this. All you do is do stuff on YouTube.
actually been at the center of some of the most significant election misinformation. If you're unfamiliar,
not really. You are one of them, but you work for YouTube. Funny again how that works.
Familiar with OAN, the way that I describe it, it's like if someone looked at Fox News and they're like, that's not nearly enough propaganda. This is
Says the guy who does propaganda.
Demonstrably false information that is undermining confidence in the election, in our democracy. And
this is not a full democracy. It's a republic, sir. You don't want full democracy. I don't, because I know people are stupid.
And YouTube, by allowing this to spread, you are complicit.
By allowing it to spread, excuse me, sir. Again, you only have the biggest YouTuber has over 60. You only have 6 million. Calm yourself down, dude. Seriously.
He went on to praise Facebook for banning the Stop the Steal group, which had hundreds of thousands of members, and praised Twitter as well for censoring the President of the United States for his tweets about the election.
And again, if Joe Biden wins, I wonder if they're gonna censor the Joe Biden when he talk. Oh, Kamala when she becomes president eventually, when she becomes president, are they gonna censor? How about let's see. Let's see. And if he does censor, I hope I hear the same amount of energy. Bring that same energy, you crazies. Bring that same energy.
We always knew you were a liberal shill, Phil, but it looks like you promoted yourself to social justice warrior. After
Yep, it is. This one is pretty funny right here.
Senator Rand Paul tweeted out, quote, "Your government sent 1.1 million dead people stimulus checks. Wonder how many of these folks also voted absentee." Twitter marked it, saying that this claim about election fraud is disputed, when he didn't even make any claims. He just asked a basic, reasonable question.
And I still don't understand why we have this. This is the crazy part about it. Alex, we'll see that. You know what? Let me just because of this nonsense right here. Again, I am definitely respect the art, not the artist. I am not a Whoopi fan. Not because of what she's gonna say now or whatever in the past. The part I don't like is when this is a grown woman who took up for a white man who raped and 13-year-old girl, Roman Polanski, and fled the country and said it wasn't rape. What the hell? That is crazy. It's not grape. I gotta kiss myself now because I forget the Autobots for Facebook and YouTube catches to words. We'll see that. Oh yes, and I will tell you right now. This show needs specific content. Sorry about that. There's gonna be some dirty words going in, not by me, but because I gotta prove what I gotta prove, that they're gonna have that. So I apologize for that for you people out there who are listening on Facebook and YouTube. Temper FM is a little different. Thank you guys, but yes, not too much, but still, yes, they're gonna have some dirty words on this show. I forgot to say that at the beginning. I should have said it at the beginning. That's my fault, but I gotta prove. If I'm doing a show, I gotta prove what a show. Just one of the reasons Radio T3 got stopped because of stuff like this. Try to do some of what I'm doing right now. But let's continue. Let's continue. And again, it's not because. So that's the reason I'm not a fan of Whoopi no more, because of that nonsense. Again, it's crazy. But some people forget how the world was. It's weird. Don Lemon talking about CNN. let's come together. Let's kumbaya. Now that you got the results that you want and done. Now let's come together. Let's come together, unite the country. Wait, didn't just a week ago you was spitting and saying, I don't want to be part of these people. These people are no better than me and all that stuff. But you got the results kind of what you wanted, and that's what it is. Don't count the eggs until the chicken's hatch already. Lady saying that, but really. And I don't, again, Don Lemon is not, please. Donald Lemon, he has his own problems. He once had integrity, but he sold his soul just like every one of these celebrities, like I said in the last show. They sold his soul for fame. Wow. And you want to know why these people don't like Christianity. Because again, I got to ask a question to most of my black people, mostly black women in America. I got a question to ask. Most of y'all go to church and talk, praise the Lord, all that stuff and everything. Thank God and everything. I'm Christian on my own self. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. But yeah, say all this stuff. But you vote for people who told you can't go to church, who closed down your church, who threatens your church. I vote. Yeah. Lori Lightfoot, when they had church in Chicago, what did she do? Oh, she brought cops to the church to stop the church services. But you guys say, thank the Lord, thank God, thank all this stuff, but they stop you from going to praise. Right. I get it. That makes logical sense. But anyway, let's go back to Miss, because she must have forgot. Hey, Whoopi, I remembered. But let's play this clip, of course. I got all the other clips of her saying all the crazy stuff. She said it when she was with Judge Neal, Don Jr., a lot of people that was keep on going on there. What was it again? Jordan Peterson and stuff like they went off on all this nonsense.
Mockingbirds continue to gaslight their viewers with claims like this.
Let me say this to you. When you know who was elected for...
Wow. When you know who. Wow, you can't even say President Trump's name. That's how crazy you are, you old lady.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
You know, Hillary Clinton didn't say, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. Stop the count. She didn't say, this isn't right.
Well, the problem was she lost by a good amount of numbers. Nowhere close. Oh, this is so close. This is different. That was a big one where you could like, oh, okay. Yeah, she should have never won that one. This is very close. And we've seen fraud at a massive scale. Not super, super massive. Let me clear that out. But we see these vote stuff counting, ballots in there. Like I said again, you voted 2 months before the election. 2 months, that's a lot of time to do a lot of tomfoolery. But again,
I'm not going for. She didn't say any of that. So
no, she said she's saying what the president's saying right now. We're getting stolen everything for the last 3 years, and America's now for a woman president and all that nonsense. Oh,
all of you, suck it up. Suck it up like we sucked it up.
You know.
Oh wait. You sucked it up. We sucked it up. You mean on the left? And I hate these guys. All these are criminals, in my opinion. They are criminals. How all these get rich for staying inside in that? Again, does not live in the district she does. $6 million house. How that works? Same thing with this little codger. This person, multiple houses, has a 2,000. What was it again? 2 fridges. Remember that the video I showed you? 2 fridges. That's worth $24,000 just for her ice cream collection. How elitist is that? You have an ice cream collection. I have a gaming collection. It's physical. I have a music collection. It's physical. It's as long as it ain't fire or nothing, whatever. Ice cream is food. A very delicate food that can expire very easily. And she has an ice cream collection in her $48,000 fridges. And remember, went to her hair, get her hair. Nope, let's leave it there because we know rules for thee, not for me. Remember that. And Adam Schiff, your parents' last name is perfect. It is literally what it should be for what you did. But remember, like I said, she said they sucked it up.
Didn't say anything.
She said we sucked it up. Did you, Whoopi? And all of y'all sucked it up. Hey, grade A on the air. Take it away from me, buddy.
Critical shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not exaggerating. Okay.
Let's go back in time.
Do you guys remember when Trump said that he might not concede if he lost?
There is a tradition in this country, is the peaceful transition of power, that the loser concedes to the winner and that the country comes together. Are you saying you're not prepared now to commit to that principle?
What I'm saying is that I will tell you at the time.
That's horrifying.
And do you remember how he got told a new arsehole by the media and the American public for that, yeah? Because after all, that was pretty messed up of Trump to say, right?
Right, I agree.
Right. So why the fuck are people now going one step further from saying it and actually doing it? Millions of people gave Trump shit for saying he wouldn't concede, right? But now they're not conceding themselves.
Remember, Whoopi says, we sucked it up. We accepted it. My butt you did.
I can't believe this is happening. Not my president. I'm literally about to fucking kill myself. Not my president.
If you're not fucking pissed right now, what is wrong with you?
I literally am gonna die. I need an ambulance.
What is fucking wrong with you if you're not pissed right now?
Talk about double standards. You guys are literally doing the thing that you gave Trump shit for just saying that he might do. So what the fuck are you complaining about? The level of hypocrisy of some of these Clinton supporters, if I'm perfectly honest, right? I think that it's
Horrifying.
Yes! Thank you, Hillary! The hypocrisy of some Clinton supporters right now, because they are refusing to concede about who won, is horrifying.
I could play this as I want, but hey, that's my point. So yeah, Whoopi, let's not pretend that nonsense, okay? Let's not pretend that nonsense. That part is just crazy. But I don't want to. No, let me. I want to say something also too. Let's again logically thinking here. Let's look at this and see something. And this is why I'm against government. Again, they have their roles. Don't get me wrong. They have their roles to do. Problem is, they're not doing it. And I'm not even talking about now, whatever. The government just don't do what they're supposed to do. You're saying that right up. They do the normal stuff, which you'll see in a little while. They do. This is what they mostly do. Before Trump, most of these politicians did this, and I hate it. And that people will be going back to status quo, so that's what they want. They want status quo. The news media made it to a bigger thing than it needs to be, but of course they did. We need to fix a problem. What did the Republicans and Democrats do? We created this committee, all right, which is a lot of people who didn't get convicted, created bureaucracy. They can't get fired. Remember, they cannot get fired if they're wrong, or if they're wrong, if their research is wrong, if they do a study and the study says, oh, the sun does come from the east. We thought the sun came from the west. Okay, well, it didn't come from the west. You should get fired. Nope. Numbers, nope. Everything, they're wrong. And then the politician goes back in front of the mic and said, well, I created the department of fixing the crap, and they fixing the crap. No, they're not. Because if they fix the crap, they will lose their money. They go in there and they do increments of 1% all the time. All the time they do 1%. I wish I could show this. I know I can't. I didn't. That's because I had a technical difficulty. Let me see here. I'm gonna see if it's gonna show up on the screen right. I don't think it will, but let me see if it would. My phone's chip a little way. Damn it. I don't know if it will show up on the screen. Dang it. It won't show up on the screen pretty good because of the glare and everything. But I'll read you where it is. Remember, like I said, these politicians does this. Dianne Feinstein, been in government for 60 years. What have she done? Oh, nothing. But she and her husband worth over 200 something $million. Yeah. And she got her husband to create a train rail, the train to nowhere in California, and his company get about $80 million per mile. Yeah, that makes sense. Chuck Schumer, 45 years in government. Don't even get me on Chucky. Maxine Waters, that's the black woman I pointed out just a while ago, beside him. Again, 47 years in government. Her district has gotten tremendously, horribly worse. You got black kids. You know, again, remember, she's like, oh, don't like white people. $6 million house around white people. How that work, I don't get it, but whatever. There are a lot of black kids, white kids too, but black kids can't read first grade level. Can't do a simple math because the schools are crappy. The streets are full of needles and crap, and they literally have a black plague going on in San Francisco, also with Nancy Pelosi's district. Speaking of that, speaking of old Nancy, 30 years in government, her district, down the crapper as well. Nobody talks about that, of course. Patrick Leahy in the government, 54 years. Raise up taxes, all the place. Yeah, we need inheritance tax in his state and all that stuff. Where did he retire to? He retired to Florida where they don't have inheritance tax. So he don't got his kids get the money easy. Wait, but you signed the bill to do. Oh, rules for thee, not for me. Oh, okay. I get it. Joe Biden, 51 years in government. 94 crime bill. Locked up a lot of black people. But black people still voted for him. Okay. He ran for president 3 times. 2 times the people didn't like him because he lied. But, again, orange man bad, so orange man lies. So his lie is bigger than Biden's lie, even though he's been in it. And the reason the picture's up, we all put the blame on one person, which was Trump being in president for 3 years. Was he perfect? No. Did he make mistakes? Yes. Do the media call him out on the mistake? This is the problem that killed me. Did they call him out on the mistakes that are real mistakes? No, because I don't know why they didn't do that. But they make up stuff to call him out on other stuff. Stuff with Boeing. Yeah. You can stick with how they with Canadian Bombardier and with Airbus. I'm with that. The taxes on certain things going that way to Canada. You can stick them with that too. I don't like the whole what do you call it again? The which you will see, but I'll say it here, I'll say it a million times. I don't like the executive order. Obama abused it, Trump abused it. I don't want that. When companies were saying stuff to go and say, hey, don't buy this stuff, I'm against that as well too. I think Trump was wrong, super wrong on that. He's not perfect and he said some stuff, but he was a bull in a china shop in the elites, and that's why I said with Fox News, they're literally in bubbles in New York, Washington, D.C., California. That's it. That's all it is. But like I said, let me point this out again. Democratic nomination happened. You can see how the government keeps doing what they're doing, and they want to go to status quo. President Trump was a bull in a china shop, even to the Republicans. That's why again, I've said it again many times. Go back and look at the 2018 people like, oh, the 2018 people, the people talked, we wanted Congress to be Democrat. No, it was a lot of Republicans backing up because they saw that he was draining the water, and they didn't like that their meal tickets was getting away. So they took their money and bounced. The guy who in North Carolina who did when the vid started and put all the stocks and money and all that stuff, yeah, he was a horrible Republican and he should have lost. He should have been in jail. So is Dianne Feinstein. She did the same thing too. She should have been in jail, but are they? No. So they bounced because he was messing up their apple cart. But let's do the contrast and show you how an outsider did it, whatever, and people who are in the government always protect their own all the time, basically. Here's the examples. And again, check if you could go. Well, in fact check is literally happened, and so you could fact check just in case. Kamala Harris was one of the first major people drop out of the nomination because people didn't like her. She literally is like the colored version of Hillary Clinton, in my opinion. But I digress. Kamala Harris, right? Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris. I said that in quotes because I think it's the party did it, not Joe, but whatever. Because I need to think about a person's mentality. Let me get it straight, lady. You call me a rapist. You call me a racist. With the whole busing thing on national TV, she did that, and the other one with the Tyra Reid thing, and she said, "I believe Tyra Reid." So you believe that Joe Biden raped Tyra Reid? That's what Kamala Harris said. Okay. You call me that, and I'm going to pick you to be my running mate? Huh. How that makes sense? Let's flip the script. When Trump was running against all the Republicans, which again, a fact, he was a Democrat until he ran for president and won. So it's still weird. That's why people liked him. People are like, oh, how do people like him a lot? Because he was a Democrat back then. That's all it is. If he became a Republican, the bad R word. Anyway. Let's go with this again. So, President Trump was going against the nominee in his nominee Jeb Bush, all of these people, right? All these people. I don't think Mike Pence ran in the presidency because Trump said horrible things, some good, some bad, about these president and these guys who's running. Did he put them in his? Did he choose any of them to be the vice president? No, because why would I say bad things and then choose that to be my vice president? That's what an outsider think. That's what a normal person would think. But politicians don't do that because they always jostling for positions and stuff. As you will see in the next video I'm going to play. Then, as you see in the next video, but I'm just preempting this. Did any of those people that in the Republican Party that Trump went against back in 2016 had a position in his cabinet? No, because you badmouth them. Why would I? And they will badmouth you. Why would you put them in that thing? No. But Joe Biden is putting people who lost, and everybody who ran on that stage is getting a part of his cabinet. Some of them say horrible stuff to Joe. Something ain't right. That's how a politician think. That's not a normal person. You say horrible stuff about me. Why would I put you on my team? And then a lot of people say, well, and then I laugh a lot of people like, oh, it's a disarray. Here, Trump's always firing people. Yeah, that's a good thing. If you do better your job, you fire. People in the government don't get fired. Barely get fired, I should say. They get fired, but they barely get fired. There's a lot of people. That's what they protect themselves. They always do. But that's just a contrast. But as of for now, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is your presumption next president and vice president. Okay? Now I don't see the quote from Kamala Harris's husband. I know why she married him. Wow, I'm telling you, men in America are becoming weak and pathetic. It literally is. You guys, American men losing their testosterone for some reason. And when we know that, literally and figuratively, there's been studies done that we are losing our testosterone because of a lot of stuff. Because I quit my job to be the first man president to do what? And I love the general. Oh, shut up. Anyway, let's get back to this. Right now, she's the presumption. They are to win. If it is, I can move on. I can live with that. That's not my thing. I can accept that. I just don't like the hypocrisy in this bull sandwich. It's just crap. But let's take it away and go through this.
Million votes have been cast in the 2020 election.
I want to repeat that because this was the biggest turnout as I thought it would have been, because they opened it up to 2 months. We do not need to do this again. Again, if more people are in the country, a week should be more enough. If they didn't give a dang to vote in that week, they don't care. 2 months, send it in, don't know what's going on, all that stuff. That's again unfair, but what is what it is.
Million votes have been cast in the 2020 election. And even before initial counts are complete, even before all the states were called, even though recounts and audits haven't even begun, and even though the Trump campaign is ready for a prolonged legal battle, the media has decided to call the election for Joe Biden and declare him president-elect. And the Democrats immediately started celebrating, totally social distancing and wearing masks,
right?
Just like the CDC guidelines recommend. I'm sure that Joe Biden is very proud of their restraint. Speaking of restraint, Joe Biden showed that he has none.
The people of this nation have spoken.
No, they have not.
They've delivered us a clear victory.
No, they did not.
A convincing victory.
No, they did not either again.
A victory for we the people.
And with that, he broke the pledge that he made during the first presidential debate.
Again, they didn't, because this is a tight race and a couple states could swing which way. That's the truth, but convincing victory. No, they did not. Let's not pretend that, but okay.
Will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes, and here's the deal. We count the ballots, as you pointed out. Some of these ballots in some states can't even be opened until Election Day. And if there's thousands of ballots, it's going to take time to do it, because once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted, that'll be the end of it.
And yet, before all the votes were counted, he declared victory.
This election is over.
Except no.
No.
Pennsylvania, Georgia, Alaska, North Carolina, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Nevada hadn't finished counting and/or are headed to recounts and audits. And instead of the press calling Biden out for breaking his pledge, they attack President Trump.
Sir, what do you say to the Americans that are anxious over the fact that President Trump has yet to concede and what that might mean for the country?
Well, I just think it's an embarrassment.
Why should Trump concede an election where all the votes haven't been counted? Because Orange Man bad, obviously. Of course, it's different for Democratic candidates. Remember former Democratic gubernatorial candidate and Biden surrogate Stacey Abrams? Well, you may recall that she lost her 2018 election against Brian Kemp. And 2 years later, she has yet to concede the race. Do you think that Biden called her an embarrassment?
Nope.
Nope.
The leader of the woman who should have been the governor of Georgia, an African-American woman who's incredibly good.
So instead of calling her out, he considered her to be his vice presidential pick because of integrity or something. I guess it's just different when a Democrat challenges results. But whatever, Jimmy Fallon says that the 2020 election is over, so you might as well accept it, losers.
The announcement was like the greatest unboxing video of all time. It's Biden! It's Biden! It's Biden! It's Biden!
That is some fucking cringe right there.
It is.
Anyway, win or lose, I thought it would be interesting to speculate and make some predictions and see what a Harris-Biden administration would look like over the next 4 years.
Also, before he goes into that, there's another thing that popped out that's kind of funny. Pfizer came up with this vaccine. They said it's 90% proven. I read through majority of what they have put out. I'm not a scientist, and I went through a lot, and I ain't read 100%. Just saying. Funny how it came after the election, but hey, it's still on a. It is how it is. Again, President Trump did say this should be done by the end of the year. So let's see what happened. Looking in there, there were like 90% work for people without the symptoms. I got a question though. They didn't say that they took out people who are asymptomatic, because if they're asymptomatic, they don't show no symptoms. So how do you know the drug work if you give them a drug and you give them the drug and they didn't get it, they was literally asymptomatic and they couldn't get the symptoms, then how you know the drug work? It defies that. And funny enough, yesterday, go and Google this. CEO of Pfizer. What did he do? Oh, he sell off all his stocks. Oh, That exudes confidence. He's selling it like, oh, in case this thing doesn't work. And again, it's legal. Remember, these Dems and Republicans, they put it in a bill. That's the problem. When people talked about the whole thing with Trump, I know the loopholes were put in by them. Because again, I say it multiple times when all these young kids always say, oh, they're going to tax the rich. Nancy Pelosi and all those people, Chuck Schumer, they're rich. Who would you think they would tax themselves? They won't. They don't. They put loopholes so they could save their money. How the heck you went from a regular job to making 200 and to having a net worth over $200 million? Weird. How weird it is. It's weird, but again, funny how that works out with the vaccine. Yeah, you know what? Y'all go ahead and take it. Do what you got to do. Live your life.
First, no matter what happens, one thing is for sure. The polls were completely and utterly wrong and should never be trusted again. For example,
I didn't trust them
in
before.
the North Carolina Senate race, nearly every poll had Cal Cunningham ahead of incumbent Tom Tillis. In reality, it was a much tighter race, and Senator Tillis will keep his seat. Another example was the Senate race in Maine, where challenger Sarah Gideon was supposedly ahead of Susan Collins by as much as 12 points. In reality, Collins handily beat Gideon by nearly 9 points. That's what happens when you oversample independents by double digits. With that said, there was no blue wave in the House or the Senate, which means that if Biden does become president, he's going to have a tough time getting his agenda passed, but more on that later. First, he'll need to get his cabinet confirmed, and with the Senate likely to have a 52-48 Republican majority, Mitch McConnell could play hardball like the Democrats before him. First, there's
Yep, because that's politics. Dirty as it is, because remember they did. That's what killed me. Is like I like how the news is like, I can't believe they're doing this on president. You just did that 4 years ago, Dems. And you're going to do it right now, too. So let's not pretend. Both parties do it. That's all I care about. Is Mitch McConnell a hypocrite? Yes. He is a hypocrite. No, duh. So is John McCain, and like I said, who else? Susan Collins. Of course, Mitt Romney. Ha 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 ha. I'm a man of virtue. No, you ain't, you pencil neck dweeb. Trying to be nice. Other people can be doing cursing other than me, so that's why I'm being nice.
Bernie Sanders. Not even kidding. Apparently, Bernie is actively pursuing the job of Secretary of Labor.
You're 80 years old, Bernie, and what? You don't... I've heard your economic plan. It makes no sense at all.
Sure, pick the guy who couldn't hold down a job until he won a seat in office. And while Sanders is not remotely qualified for the job, the Senate could confirm him because his replacement would be picked by the Republican governor of Vermont, giving Republicans a 53-47 majority. Plus anything to get Sanders out of the Senate, right? Then there's Senator Elizabeth Warren, who according to reports,
Miss Pocahontas herself,
wants the job of Secretary of the Treasury.
You're bad with money. What are you talking about? You're horrible with money, Liz.
And Biden-Bama owes Warren for passing her over as director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the bureau that she helped create. Former Secretary of State John Kerry could be nominated for Secretary of State again.
Oh, hell no. He was horrible. Wait, remember, Russia ain't gonna do nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Tell that to Kiev, tell that to Ukraine, tell that to Georgia, tell that to Syria, tell that to Lebanon, tell that to Egypt. Oh, wait, it didn't work, did it, Kerry? Freaking hell. He was a horrible Secretary of State and got us into more wars. I thought Dad was supposed to be against the wars, but he got us in more wars. Funny how that works out.
But so could Susan Rice.
Another one who got us in the wars and lied like a crazy person.
She could also be given back her old role as National Security Advisor.
As
and
lying?
what about Andrew Yang? Well, apparently...
You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that, Andrew. You're wrong for that. But I know why he does it. He does it because the news made a mistake on that. So he does it just to poke fun of people.
Yang and Biden have been talking.
Joe and I have actually been talking about a new position that doesn't exist yet, but should.
Just like any daggone politician, create this new position that don't do jack squat.
Around technology and innovation, but those conversations have been very general. So to TBD.
But when it comes to technology and innovation, Yang might have some competition from former Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who has some ideas of his own.
And there's going to be people like at JCPenney and other retail. Those jobs aren't coming back. Give them the tools.
Remember now. Remember this. 4 years ago, in his and Rahm Emanuel to Biden. Remember, I to President Barack Obama. Remember, on my channel on YouTube. Go and check it out. Obama said these jobs will never come back. What Trump has, this magical wand, these will come back. They did. Also, the GDP went up to 4%. You barely touched 2%. Things that man, he must have had a crazy magical wand.
Once you're going to become a computer coder, we'll pay for it, and you'll get millions of people to sign up for that.
No, you won't.
They are not going back to.
I hate these guys who just think this way. No, they won't.
Parts of the retail economy, and we need to give them.
And if the company goes under, what are they going to do, Emmanuel? Like some of them department store has gone under. What are they going to do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a job to do this when a company is not existing. How that makes sense?
A lifeline to what's the next chapter.
Translation: learn to code. And logistically, who would be teaching these millions of people to code? And what percentage of retail workers do you think would be able to handle switching to a math-heavy field in a 6-month period? I'm gonna guess very few. Also, most employers in that field require applicants to have a bachelor's degree in computer science or engineering. A 6-month course with a government certificate isn't gonna be enough. You might as well just sign them up for real estate courses. Just as useless.
That's wrong. Why did you do that, Andrew? That is wrong.
Klobuchar, who could be tapped as the United States Attorney General. And if she were confirmed, the governor of Minnesota would pick her replacement, possibly someone like Ilhan Omar or Keith Ellison.
Ooh. Which is crazy, because again, I love how Ilhan Omar talks about, oh, we are the new type of people. We are the new congresswomen, and we are progressive and progressive, but you do the exact same thing like the other politicians. Because again, like I said, you give your husband $1 million. Oh wait, sorry, forgot. The husband that you were sleeping with from another woman, then married, and also you say you don't like white men, but you marry a white man. Do you follow this nonsense, really? And Keith Ellis, you should be in jail, but of course he was not, because again, believe all women. Well, your ex-girlfriend and her son said you did horrible things to her, but you're not in jail yet. But we should put Kavanaugh in jail because you don't got no evidence. And his girlfriend did exactly what I always tell people. Go to the police, show evidence. Apparently, he's not in there. Huh. How does that work? Seems like they protect themselves.
Thinking that Republicans might have a problem with them. But Biden could also nominate the brave Sally Yates, who was the acting U.S. Attorney General who was fired by Trump for insubordination. Yeah. She might not be picked, but at the very least, she'll be up for receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And then there's Beto O'Rourke.
I did not hear this. It was so good to not hear from this guy for a whole year and a half. But as he put it, hear what Joe Biden said. I always love this nonsense. Ted Cruz is racist, even though he's Hispanic. He's more Hispanic than this tall dork who doesn't have no Hispanic in him at all. His name is Francis O'Rourke. He's not Beto, is a fake name that he created to be, I am down with the Latino. No, His name was Francis O'Rourke. He's a white man. He literally is from Scotland. But he's more Hispanic than Ted Cruz, who has both parents were Hispanic. Again, how this makes sense.
I'm going to guarantee you this is not last year's scene of this guy. You're going to take care of the gun problem with me. You're going to be the one that leads this effort. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you. We need you badly. The state needs you. The country needs you. You're the best.
And that brings us to policy. With a Republican Senate, you bet that Beto's brand of so-called meaningful gun reform is not going to fly. And then there's this promise that both Biden and Harris made on the campaign trail.
By the way, how many of you did really well with that $1.9 trillion tax cut that increased? Really in good shape, right? Really changed good. Well, you did. Well, that's good. I'm glad to see you're doing well already. And I'm good. But guess what? If you elect me, you're not going to have your taxes are going to be raised, not cut. If you benefit from that.
I promise you this. As a first order of business, Joe Biden and I are about to work to get rid of that tax cut.
Well, with the Republican Senate, you will not see any changes to the Trump tax
cuts,
nor will you see this.
Would you bring back the individual mandate?
Pardon me?
Would you bring back the individual mandate?
Yes, I bring back the individual mandate.
Think that'll be popular?
Well, it's not. Yes, now it would be compared to what's being offered.
Because remember, folks, the Supreme Court ruled that the individual mandate for Obamacare was a tax.
Which that what still puzzles me to this day. When you go back and you look at that, the people who was against this said that this is not Obamacare. The lawyers said this is not a tax, and the people were saying it's a tax because if it was a tax, it's unconstitutional. But Roberts said it's a tax. I'm like, that's not how it works. And basically, the Supreme Court made a tax. That's not how it works. Congress should make taxes. Congress, not the Supreme Court, not the president, Congress. Again, I don't understand. That one puzzles me because, again, that should have never stand. Just like Roe versus Wade, I debunked that one as well, too.
And that paved the way for Congress to eliminate the mandate. Biden said that he wouldn't raise taxes for the middle class, but if the mandate's a tax, then he wants to raise taxes for the middle class. And it doesn't matter anyway, because as long as the Republicans control the Senate, there is no way that a Biden administration will get the individual mandate reinstated, let alone push through Biden care. And remember all
Thank goodness.
of that talk making both Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. a state? Sure, it could still happen, but not under a Biden-Harris administration.
Nope.
And what about expanding the Supreme Court from 9 to 13 or even 15 justices? Well, that's going to have to put on hold too. And if Biden gets a chance to nominate a Supreme Court justice, well, it better happen before 2024. Because just like 2016 and Merrick Garland, McConnell will refuse to consider a nomination.
Yeah, and I would block
So
it.
if worse comes to worse and Biden does become the president, there's still good news for Republicans. But the bad news is that when it comes to pushing an agenda,
and then what he's gonna say, I don't like Obama doing this. I did not like Trump doing this. Just to get you all on the same page, because this is crap. This is not how you're supposed to do it. The Constitution does not allow this. These are supposed to be, the executive orders are supposed to be extreme measures.
Biden will probably follow President Obama's example.
I've got a pen. I can use that pen to sign executive orders and take executive actions and administrative actions that move the ball forward.
No,
and that means,
and that's how the affordable health care was. And again, that's not constitutional because you passed the tax and it's supposed to be Congress. But I digress.
Means that with the stroke of a pen, Biden can halt construction of the southern border wall, reinstate critical race theory-based training in the federal government,
which is horrible. And then that's a racist thing. I've read through the critical race theory and that stupid white fragility book. People talking as, oh, this is a great thing. White people are evil. People call us stupid. That's literally what the book says. But for some reason, the fancy words trick up people because, I have a definition. You could look up words of like, oh, that's what that means. But you just said I'm stupid. You just said that I don't know how to use a computer. You just said I don't know how to use a phone. You just said I don't know how to use a data Play the clip last show. Go check it out.
And oil and gas drilling on federal land, rejoin the Paris Climate Accords, and
which ain't gonna do jack squat. We pay so much. Most of our tax money goes to the Paris Accord, which doesn't do nothing. The Paris Accord is just a piece of paper that means nothing, because China and Russia and India in it, and they pollute way more than America ever does. But they're in there to do what now? That makes no sense. The WHO, yeah, I'm happy that the president pulled us out of the WHO, because you basically told us a lot of lies, and yeah, and we pay most of the funding. So why should I don't know, why would I pay for bad advice? That's the part that kills me, but it's the government again. That's what they want to do.
The WHO, repeal the travel ban, soften punishment for illegal border crossings, and end Trump's asylum rule, making it easier for illegal border crossers to claim asylum. Biden will also reinstate DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. But the problem with DACA is that if you're a participant in the program, i.e. a dreamer, the DACA program requires you to renew every year, and there is no path to citizenship. Just renew. On the other hand, Trump wanted legislation passed by Congress that would grant as many as 1.8 million Dreamers amnesty and a path to citizenship. But Democrats didn't care enough about the Dreamers to compromise and give Trump a win. It's just better to use them as political pawns. Yep. And you better get ready for increased mask mandates, more lockdowns, and possible mandatory.
And they already done start that. New York and New Jersey already done saying that if you got bars, restaurants, hair salons, all this stuff, y'all gonna lock down again while they make money.
Vaccines, all thanks to this man of science over here. Anyway, the bright side of Joe Biden becoming the president, not conceding by the way, is that when it comes time for him to campaign for 2024, he'll be 81 years old, and the conventional wisdom is that he probably won't run for a second term. That means passing the torch to his vice president, Kamala Harris. And if that happens, she'll likely pick her friend, Senator Cory Booker,
that is scary.
as her VP choice.
Don't.
And it is highly unlikely.
Two people who pretend to be black, they're nowhere close to what is supposed to be black. And his ideas is just as stupid as her ideas. Our president does not concede that voice of... Oh, shut up. Jeez. People, damn, seriously, can you not pick crappy people? Can you not? I said, Biden, you could have chosen Tulsi Gabbard. I would have been behind Tulsi Gabbard. I will choose her over Harris any day. She's a woman of color too, because she's Hawaiian. Any day, I'd have choose Tulsi Gabbard over her. At least she doesn't. Tulsi Gabbard served her country, did stuff, was in the military. At least she didn't sleep with people to get to the top. And did a horrible job. And also, again, other stuff. Ugh.
That the Democrats will come together to vote for a Harris Booker ticket.
Ugh. I hope not, because they would not. If that's your ticket for 2024, I'm going to still be this white man in blackface. Because I ain't doing that. At all. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the I got 2 more videos. Then 30. Let's it's 20 minutes. All right. So let's continue with the debunking, shall we? Let's do this. Again, I warn you, there's gonna be some profanities and stuff like that. That's just what it is. But let's go to that.
If you know what I mean.
Trump won't release his tax returns, so he must be cheating on his taxes.
Never mind the fact that Trump and his corporations have been under constant audit for the past 30 years. No tax attorney worth their salt would release those tax returns, well, because they can't. And only blood-sucking government leeches wouldn't know this because they never paid any taxes in their whole goddamn lives. But That didn't stop the media from illegally releasing them anyway. And someone needs to get sued. They claim Trump only paid $750 in taxes, which is complete bullshit. And even if he did, here's to you. Do you really think you're gonna flip votes this way? What are you, stupid?
Trump took advantage of perfectly legal tax loopholes? Oh my God.
Like I said, that's the problem. Again, as I stated before, we're gonna tax, the Democrats gonna tax the rich. Most of the Democrats are rich by doing what they did in government, and they're gonna tax themselves. You wouldn't tax yourself. I wouldn't tax myself. Why would they tax themselves? They created the loopholes that they use. Here's checkmate here. Obama was president for Obama was president for 4 years, right? 4 years. While Trump didn't take was losing money because he did not take the $400,000 that the president gets. Funny how that works, doesn't it? He donated it away to the vets and everything, but again, funny how that works again. So you don't take money from that. So you don't take the salary. Obama took the salary. It's $400,000, right? $400,000 a year. Gave him 3.2 because again they don't pay taxes. Let's be honest with that. $200 million for 8 years. But right after you came out of office, you got a 14. You moved into a 14. What's it for? 12. Let's okay, it ranges. Let's go 13. A $13 million in the most exclusive place. Remember, Miss Michelle Obama. Yeah, white people, you move away from us. No, you move away from the same black people you were talking about in that video, and you went to Martha's Vineyard, which is the most exclusive white people around place. But you got a $13 million house. That math does not add up. How the hell you turn? I need to know y'all accounting. How the hell you turn $3 million into $13 million to get a house? I need to know that. Please tell me. Unless we know what happened, but I'll leave that as that.
Meanwhile, the same tax returns they claim is this huge bombshell, they actually show that he paid millions of dollars in taxes.
That's the part I debunked that as well too. In the thing I said, people just saw the front line, read through it. The New York Times said it itself. He just clipped it together right there, which is the same thing I read. New York Times at the top, the headline: New York Times claimed President Trump paid only $750 in federal taxes in 2016-17 is wrong based on the flaw understanding taxes being paid. They didn't say that part. I'm just that's his thing, because inside of that same article, if you go and I go to the video, I forget which video I did it in. Dang it, I think it's like 3 videos ago, 3 project videos ago. Inside the same thing, they did it. Below, you go down to the ending part of that article, they show that he paid $7 million in taxes. That's the part that infuriates me in that regard.
But here it comes. Biden not releasing his Senate records. Totally fine. These tax loopholes that only evil whiteys take advantage of, right? They were put in place by, you guessed it, Congress, which is full of corrupt bureaucrats who have been there for, I don't know, half a century? Democrats like Pelosi, Cuck Schumer, and sloppy Joe Biden, they all passed this bullshit. Just between those three, you have over a century of government. If you are new to a company.
That's the part I was talking about. He got it. This is the face I was talking about it. All these, they've been in this government and all these problems still persist. But he's been in 3 years and yeah, haven't solved nothing. Funny how that works, doesn't it?
And the CEO blamed you for going bankrupt. Would you really take him serious?
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is a racist and a white supremacist. Snowflake.
The white supremacist who got all kinds of awards for developing and helping the minority community. Right. The guy who won the Ellis Island Award right next to Muhammad Ali and Rosa Parks. A double corn dog. Right. I've been listening to this crap for 5 years, and I'm sick and tired of it. Building a wall to stop illegal immigration doesn't make you a rhesus monkey. But saying you don't believe in borders basically means you don't believe in having a country. Never mind the fact that you all lock your doors at night and you have a lawn to mow. When all of that fell on deaf ears, because let's face it, when was the last time you heard anything? They pivot to two other talking points that prove Trump is some type of rhesus monkey. Both of these have been debunked more times than Santa Claus, but yet we still heard them in both debates.
Because the news keep, including Fox, like I said, showed earlier, does the thing. They always do it. Misinformation. Yeah, that's what y'all do.
Very fine people on both sides.
And that clearly must mean that he endorses white supremacy. 10 seconds more of that clip on either side.
Exactly.
Boom! Truth bomb.
And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
But that doesn't matter, right? Because he called Mexicans rapists and murderers, right? Wah.
But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals.
He's going to continue, and he's correct. There's a reason why. Yeah, I'll let it go. But Trump is correct.
Trump was specifically addressing MS-13, which they're a bunch of reprehensible ass bags.
There could be an MS-13 gang member I know about. If they don't reach a certain threshold, I cannot tell ICE about them.
You see?
That's the problem. And I've seen a video that is, despicable. They chop people up, they do horrible things. Again, remember in New Jersey, 2 black girls got killed, chopped up and everything, killed. Horrible. Did a damn, and when, President consoled the family members and and arrested the people and everything else like that. That was something you're supposed to applause to in that thing. Oh, wait a minute. The Dems did not stand for that. I thought you liked black people. Again, remember, white man in blackface. But you didn't stand for that, which is despicable in my opinion, but of course. And the video I did saw a video which is gruesome. Literally, these guys broke the man's rib cage and pull out a beating heart out of his chest. Holy, that video ain't giving nightmares. It's just wow. These people do not care about human life. They're horrible people. MS-13 is horrible people. But you can't call them animals for what they do.
See how this thing falls apart faster than my ex's legs at a firefighter banquet? But you want to know who actually is a rhesus monkey? The guy you're voting for.
Yeah, this is why I'm a white person in blackface.
He called the desegregation of schools a racial jungle. Damn! And I know there are people in the audience who are Democrats who are like,
Pop, he said that 40 years ago.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
And on top of that, Biden co-sponsored a crime bill that decimated the minorities in America.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is a rapist and a sexist. Hashtag me too.
I'm not going to stand here and say he's not a sexist because it takes one to know one, Space Ghost. But he routinely promoted women to positions of power within his companies if they did a good job.
Yeah, and let's not forget, before he became president, his second in command was a woman. How that works again.
There are two main talking points that the left and the media have been peddling for the past 5 years. For example, there's a woman out there who's been accusing Trump of grapefruiting her when she was 13. Oh my God! But she keeps dropping the case over and over and over again. Gee, I wonder why somebody would do that if it actually happened. And she also refuses to be identified because she knows she would get sued into the Stone Age.
Just like Stormy Daniels happened. And remember, her lawyer, who CNN say he will be the next president, where is he? Oh, wait, in jail. Some karma sometimes does work out, you know.
And of course, you have the infamous grab him by the box tape.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the
First of all, I don't care. Second of all, it fell flatter than Dr. Doom getting run over by the steamroller and Roger Rabbit. For two main reasons. Number one, this is just how dudes talk to each other. It's locker room talk. And if you say it doesn't happen, you're full of shit. And the second reason.
And the second reason he's bringing up, which I brought up as well too. One, was Trump wrong? No, he was not. A lot of women do women do this? Yes. Do all of them? No. Again, Kamala Harris slept with a guy, Willie Brown, who was a married man, so she could get her start in politics. Yeah, because he had power, and she did what she had to do it. Funny how that works.
He implied consent when he said it.
And when you're a star, they let you do it.
If they let you do it, they're not stopping you from doing it. You see how that works?
They always forget that part. Let you, yes. He didn't say, I did it. He said, they let you. That's the point. That's the, whatever, because you have power. And rich, let's not pretend these young women or whatever women throw themselves at these guys. They do. Yeah. Not all of them. But let's not pretend I'm not going to insult your intelligence and think that, nah. Yeah, Anna Nicole Smith married this $100 billionaire guy for love. That picture of her kissing that guy just, just disgusting. Yeah, I love him. Or the hundreds of $1 million didn't mean nothing to you, sweetheart. Okay. Well, it didn't mean anything to you anyway, because you basically intoxicated yourself to death.
But that's what you're looking at when you're looking at it from the flip side, if you know what I mean. We have a video, documented evidence of Creepy Joe getting kind of sloppy with women and children for years.
Completely normal.
Then you have Tara Reid's completely credible allegations against him that the Me Too crowd is completely ignoring. Aren't we supposed to believe all women even though they don't know who, what, where, when, why, or how? Oh, that's right, I'm sorry, I forgot. We're supposed to believe all women when the person accused has an R after their name. I guess that explains why Bill Clinton isn't in prison. He had a line of women around the block with credible allegations, and they never changed their stories. And if politicians are too elite for you, we have Jacob Blake. That makes my back hurt.
This dude is seen as a hero and a martyr by the same left that says we need to believe all women.
Yeah, because now that the story is coming out, and Kamala Harris, I talked about this too. Kamala Harris like, I'm proud of you. You're proud that you went to his baby mama's house, beat him up in front of her kids, his kids too. She had a restraint order. That morning, you went to the house, scared the crap out of the baby mother, put the kids in her car. You took the keys to her car. Because all the time, I didn't know until that happened. That SUV he was going to was not his SUV. He was going to steal the kid. He was going to steal the SUV that had the kids in it. Funny how these stories work out. Just like the guy who just got shot in Philadelphia. The mother's now saying, "Oh, he was an angel. He's a blah blah blah." Wait a minute. Who called the cops on the guy? You did, ma'am. You called the cops on your own son. Why? Because he went to jail more. He has been to jail 13 times, and he has abused his mother. So his mother was calling cops again, and he had a knife and everything going crazy, and he got shot. Yeah. I always say that. The guy, the guy from St. Lucia in Texas, where will Black Lives Matter? Crickets, nothing. Criminals? Yeah, we're right there for you.
And he only got lead poisoning because he's a multiple felon with several charges of grapefruiting against him. Just so we're clear, we're supposed to believe his accuser, right?
Well, I guess that all goes out the window when reality gets in the way of the narrative. Space Ghost.
Yep.
I award you no points.
That is true.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump colluded with the Russians to steal the election.
And this one has been the most laughable about this. Let me get this straight. 2016, they were like, oh, the Russians did this and all that stuff, which we all found as lies and everything. But they were like, oh, you spent 3 years to get this point. But then, now, you guys should take the elections are just. Wait, but 4 years ago you said the elections wasn't just. But now they're just. How about we just count the votes and go from there, huh?
Came about less than a month after the Democrats stated that elections couldn't be rigged. And to insist otherwise, well, you're just peddling conspiracy theory. Wham.
By doing that, he is threatening our democracy.
But after Trump won the election, the Democrats, well, they flipped their script and said Russia influenced the election. A country with a GDP slightly less than South Korea? Yeah, right. Wah. But of course, some Facebook ads can completely, change election results. Every single time the
Seeing that Facebook ads sends to a lot of people now, as we just said before.
Democrats lose, they claim the election was rigged. The only time they haven't done this is when it's a complete landslide. So that means twice. And what was the result? 3 years of bullshit investigations and a slew of false reporting.
Russia, Putin, Russian, Moscow, Russian, pro-Russian, Russian.
And what did they find? Nothing, bupkis, zero, zilch. And yet there are Democrats out there that still believe Trump is some kind of Russian asset. Wow! The dumb is deep in those people. The United States is home to the most sophisticated intelligence apparatus on the planet.
An intelligence apparatus with a vested interest in taking down this president. Keep that in mind.
They combed through every millimeter of Donald Trump's life and his staff for 3 years, and they found nothing. But...
Well, that means he's super slimy and he's just good at hiding it.
Get out of here and f*** off. Now keep in mind, this same apparatus was beyond reproach when they chose not to prosecute Hillary Clinton, despite the fact that provable crimes actually occurred. If you were remotely awake at that moment, you realize that our system is completely broken. You want to know where all this crap came from? Buckle in, because here we go. It's because Hillary and the Democrats, well, they actually colluded with the Russians. We didn't know. As the Secretary of State, she signed over 20% of our enriched uranium stockpiles to the Russians. And she did it all for a donation to her nonprofit organization because she's all about helping people. Yeah, right. Just ask the people of Haiti how much the Clinton Foundation helped them out, huh? Space Ghost. Christopher Steele was paid by Hillary Clinton to put together some crazy dossier about Trump.
And he was a former British spy using current Russian assets. And this triggered a fake news avalanche about foreign election meddling. Now that's the kind of irony that only dirty money can buy.
The FBI knew it was completely fake, and yet they pushed it through FISA anyway. Can anyone say prison?
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is a fascist dictator.
This is all coming from a group who doesn't even know what gender is, let alone fascism. Fascism is literally the absence of democracy and the suppression of opposition using censorship and violence. Gee, I totally don't know of any left-wing groups that do this.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia.
They claim Trump has signed more executive orders than any president in the past 50 years. But their favorite president was FDR. FDR signed 290 executive orders per year he was in office. FDR served 3 terms. That is 3,480 executive orders. Holy shit! Trump could sign 10 executive orders between now and the election and he would still be less than FDR. Trump is an advocate for the First and Second Amendment, in fact, the entire Constitution, unlike your liberal messiah. He has loosened restrictions for businesses that were put in place by Obama, an actual fascist who disguised the graping of the middle class as a health care plan.
Not to mention routinely weaponizing the bureaucracy to silence his political opponents. Speaking of which,
you know, all of these multi-billion-dollar corporations that are censoring information on the internet, you know, the same companies that leftists claim they hate but yet borrow all of their talking points from? They all support Democrat Screen 5. Obama sued the media 3 times more than all of the other presidents combined. He also spent $36 million of your money protecting his administration from FOIA requests. So I'm just asking for a friend. Who really comes across as a fascist here? I'm just saying.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is holding immigrant kids in cages. It's so barbaric.
These photos that were used to smear the Trump administration, they were taken in 2014 when a certain stunning and brave president was in office. And they were used to smear Trump for simply enforcing existing immigration policy. I'm going to give you the bottom line right now. We as a nation are not responsible for children brought here illegally. Whatever happens to these children while they're coming here or after they get here, that is on their parents.
Trump put kids in cages. Oh my God, I'm going to pose for a fake photo. I'm staring at an empty parking lot.
Still remember this one. This is funny. I still remember this one. It's so funny. Yeah, when you take a picture, you put it in a certain way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Then we turn around. But you're crying of what? Who's the crazy person that get it? AOC? Oh yeah, I forgot you.
Screaming like a banshee, and not in a good way.
Obama built all those cages. In fact, he was known as the deporter-in-chief. We never heard about that on the news.
So that is our direct message to the families in Central America. Do not send your children to the borders. If they do make it, they'll get sent back. More importantly, they may not make it.
I award you no points,
Again,
and may God have mercy on your soul.
This stuff.
Trump assassinated Soleimani, and he's going to start World War III.
That was too funny.
Hey, let's get something straight here. Soleimani was a murdering asshole. He has been on my personal beat on sight list since 2005, and he's been listed as a terrorist since 2005 as well. He was the commander of the Quds force in Iran. Its whole purpose was to crush and obliterate any opposition to the ruling class. So basically, this dude built his whole career on putting his own people to the sword. And killing this dude was supposed to start World War III?
Before he gets to that, and that's the part that killed me. Oh, you just say, oh, Trump killed brown people. Like, Soleimani killed way more his own people and brown people than a lot of people think, which is weird. Remember, that's the part of kill when I see like T.I. Oh, the Iranians never use the N-word. Yes, they do, T.I. Yes, they do. Because you know what? The biggest slave trade from Africa was not the Western with the white man, it was with the Arabs. But, looking into stuff to find out what's going on.
Who the hell are you kidding here? Come on. Obama? Well, he was a drone-killing fool and no one seemed to care. He started shadow wars in North Africa that are still raging today. He promised to end the wars. Instead, he turned 2 wars into 7, after, of course, winning a Nobel Peace Prize just for showing up. Okay.
That one is, again, not Obama's fault. That's I always will point that out. The Nobel Peace Prize Committee, y'all are crazy for that. That's stupid. On hope and change and just give the person that without evidence, without doing that. Kind of like reinforcing the whole, oh, you participated? Oh, this is your idea, Jimmy? Hey, you get an award for it. But I didn't do it. Oh, I know you will get it done. Okay.
Okay, so the guy who killed countless women and children gets the Nobel Peace Prize, but not the guy who brokered actual peace deals that no one thought were possible. And I'm supposed to think that he's the bad guy. Right, yeah.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is interfering in the affairs of Ukraine just to smear Joe Biden. Let's impeach the motherfucker.
Let's break down why the House of Socialists, Representatives actually impeached Trump. Trump called Ukraine and asked why a specific prosecutor was fired. That's it. That's really all he did. Space Ghost. But
I remember they released the video, they released the audio of Trump and a transcript of Trump call. Nothing was crazy in there.
But there is actual footage of Biden bragging about getting a specific prosecutor fired.
I said, you're not getting the billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
Because this specific prosecutor was looking into the dealings of his crackhead son, Hunter Biden. Well, we're going to refer to him as Hunter Biden for the sake of this video, because that's exactly what he is. He was getting paid $80,000 a month to work in a position he was not qualified for.
Offering the crackhead son of the second most powerful man in the world a job and a salary completely incongruous with his qualifications and his character? Nothing to see here.
The only thing Hunter Biden knows about natural gas is how to huff fumes to get high. Screen 5. Trump, he was doing his job. He's trying to root out corruption in this country. That's what got him impeached. Shocker. Want to smell it?
No.
But it was slapped down like a red-headed stepchild in the Senate. In September, it was revealed that Biden and his son were bribed by Burisma. And now there are several hard drives that were left behind by Hunter that are now proving his family knew all about it. And they lied about it. Go ahead, ask me why. Because Joe Biden was using his position to profit from other countries, using his family as bagmen for his money laundering operation. If you haven't read the rule book, that is straight up treason, and it disqualifies Biden for running for president. And it would explain this huge jump in wealth between 2016 and 2017 for Joe Biden. But it could just be a huge coinky dink.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump called COVID a hoax, and he didn't act in time, so 200,000 people died.
He never, ever called it a hoax. You stupid biatchas. He said that the politicizing of the pandemic was a hoax. Something the media directly encouraged. Links in the description.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. And this is their new hoax.
The vast majority of the deaths from the unspecified illness of unknown origin, or better yet, we call it EIU. If you take the CDC numbers at face value, which I don't,
Neither do I.
They come from blue states with the strictest lockdowns, and a near majority of those deaths come from nursing homes.
Gee, I wonder if any of these nipple-pierced or gender-ambiguous blue state governors forced nursing homes to accept sick patients despite countless warnings from the CDC to avoid exactly that, like
New York, Michigan, Washington State.
I don't know, the plague?
Murders, genocide, Space Ghost. It's all a power grab, and the longer it goes on, the more people get used to it. And that is more terrifying than any disease. Just saying. Let's play devil's advocate here just for a moment, and it was a good movie. Even if Trump was responsible for the 200,000 plus dead, which he's not, the 10th Amendment forbids him from acting unilaterally for the entire country. Even if he was responsible, that's still a 90% reduction from the original estimates of dead. Back in March, they said it would be between 2 and 2.5 million dead.
And funny enough, I love that too. Another part of that story is the person who gave that number said we should lock down, shut down, nobody should go no place. Except he went to his missus, which she was a married woman and he was the sex. Wow. You can't keep up with this nonsense. So everybody should stay in the house except for you when you go to get nookie from your married wife, from a married woman, I should say. Wow. Again, rules for thee, not for me, huh?
I call that a win. No matter how you look at it, Trump was either monumentally successful or not responsible for it at all. So trying to...
And I've said before again, I don't put responsibility not on him, nor on the Democrats or whatever. This responsibility relies on the HWO and also on the EIOU, as you just said, because of the certain words. We worry about those. Those, yes. But because they keep pushing the nonsense, funny how the media forgets about what he's going to say next, which is, again, am I surprised? No.
Him for the actions of Democratic governors is complete bullshit. Trump, he started early in all of this crap by instigating a travel ban from China.
A move that everyone's favorite marionette-in-chief says saved countless lives. So put that in your underage crack pipe and smoke it. Or, I don't know, you could use it to lube up her feet. Not that I would know about that or anything.
And for doing that, he was called, you guessed it, a xenophobe.
Yeah, and I showed that in the last video of his actual tweets, his actual what Biden said. So he's basically doing what I said last week.
By the Democrats. But the same people who say he wasn't acting fast enough were calling for mass gatherings.
But we do want to say to people, come to Chinatown. Here we are. Come join us.
And since then, these lockdown enthusiasts, they keep breaking their own rules. Pelosi, she went and got her hair done because of, I don't know when. Lightfoot from Chicago, she had to go get her beauty on because she kind of looks like Beetlejuice.
So in a nutshell, voting Democrat in this election says, I'm either too inept, delusional, over-medicated, or easily manipulated to exist in the real world. And rather than take responsibility for that, I reject your reality and substitute my own. Wah.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump incites violence on the daily. OMG, WTF, LOL.
Now I'm going to be completely honest here. Do I think Trump tweets too much? Absolutely. Yes. And someone should probably take his phone away. But throwing out some tweets about liberating Michigan and Virginia is not inciting violence.
Oh yeah, and I forgot it. We get that thing in the news media went about. Oh, the kidnap of the governor. Oh, it was by crazy leftists. Am I shocked? No, I'm not. I'm not surprised.
Liberation is not inherently violent.
And if you think it is, you need to have a long talk with the wage gap enthusiasts because they led this whole women's liberation movement. And if you call them violent, the media will say you're crazy. Just ask their unborn children.
Oh. I love how leftists say everything is peaceful until someone else does the exact same thing. The Democrats have endorsed 5 months of burning, looting, and murdering. And all of this has been mislabeled by the media from the beginning as peaceful protests.
What you are seeing, the common theme that ties all of this together, is an expression of anger.
Disregard the burning building behind me. This has been mostly peaceful protest. On top of that, you have direct calls for violence from people within our own government and blue-check Twitter accounts.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
You get out and you create a crowd, and you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome.
They're not. This is a movement. I'm telling you, they're not going to stop. And everyone beware.
And please show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
In the Bill of Rights, you fake news peddling, roid raging, sibling, coattail riding, pseudo quarantine chucklehead. I'm not surprised you haven't read it. Most of us don't look at what we're wiping our asses with.
But it's the far right that's responsible for all of this violence, even though we have debunked the absolute shit out of it. Links in the description. And what shocks me more? Half the country is so stupid they fall for it. Because Orange Man is bad, and my guy says nice things, and, virtue signaling and morality. Shut up! Never mind the fact that you want to give the nuclear football to a dude who doesn't even know what year it is. Well, that seems safe.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you'd like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though, okay?
What the f***? Joe Biden can't even go 2 minutes with his opponent's microphone turned off without looking like a complete idiot. He looks like his face is going to explode right before he says he's eliminating millions of jobs.
And that's on top of the worldwide Great Depression that his nationwide and completely unconstitutional lockdown and mandatory mask mandate would cause. You thought 15 days was tough, or was it 7 months? I don't know. I'm in Michigan and my governor's an idiot.
Make no mistake, if Joe Biden gets elected, we are f***ed to the fourth power. With that being said,
not really. Like I said, I will admit to this is reluctance.com. You could go check it out. I like it because it's entertaining in a regard. He does present the facts, so don't get me wrong. That's why his links are always inside of the archive and everything, which is good. The point I'll state to this because I want to go to another thing when I talk about Will Speed Not for Thee. But here's another part right here. I was saying, like I said, if he happens, it happens. One of my theses is hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So I'm preparing for the worst. It's not the best that I've gotten. Just is what it is. That's all I'm saying in that regard. So if it happens, it happens. Joe Biden, Calvin Harris, or other vice president or whatever, it is what it is. Got to move on with our life. Just protect yourself. And put your money and make sure your money's in the right spot because they're gonna. Let's look at the economy. Let's see how that's gonna work out. Because right now as it is after the election, because they see what they're doing right now, they're gonna lock down. And even if I'll say this again, even if President Trump pulls through with the counts and everything, the certification, he can't. He say to Joe Biden, they don't have the power to lock the country down. They do not. It's the governors. And that's why Cuomo and Murphy and Ellis and Newman and all those and Lightfoot and all these people, that's why they locked down those cities. I still don't get the point of why lock down the cities. You get money from the citizens by taxes. And if the taxes ain't there, how you get paid, this Ponzi scheme is gonna fall apart very quickly soon. That's all I can say about that one. It's going to fall down very quickly soon. So I'll leave that and finish it off with this quick little video right here. The elites. This is the problem. And to the smart jabroni, yes, Doc, it is gray on one thing, but you look at the map, it was red, red pinkish. Don't be a jabroni now. LOL. Anyway, here's the part that kills me again. These elites, Remember, these people know how to trick the system. This is why, again, I don't understand why these people say we should trust the. Remember, these are the people. They're Whoopi Goldberg, all this. Oh, because he's a Democrat now. Oh, we should trust the government. Why? If you don't trust Trump when he was president, which I'm also the same way too, I didn't trust him in that regard either. He did more stuff than he did promises, which is I should say verboten. He fulfilled his promises more than the past presidents, but whatever. But still, I didn't trust him either. I didn't vote for him in 2016. Hillary Clinton and him, I didn't vote. I did third party. Could have for a third party this time because George Jurgensen was I don't like the stance of you gotta teach anti-racism, which is stupid. By the definition of teach anti-racism is racism. It makes no sense. It's just stupid. But remember, these elites make sure that you don't get up in there to mess up their cushy jobs and cushy things. And here's an example here of elitism. Rules for that for me. 1, 2, what it does for the country again. And also, yes, my news media person, I'll shout out to him because my social media person who watch over stuff, shout out to him. He has a disdain for college, and I understand why. And I will tell you this: please talk to your kids. Find out what courses they want to do. Okay, a lot of social jobs do not make a lot of money because it's a lot of money to get that bachelor's degree to do all that nonsense. It's too much money, in my opinion. Please talk to your kids. Make sure that you're getting. Example: I don't have kids. Hell, I don't know if I'm gonna get married or not. How the world works. But if I get married, right, and I have kids, of course I would teach my kids responsibility, blah, 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 blah. When it comes to college, would I help them out with a college? Yeah, I will help them with a college if they're taking a class that makes sense to get. If not, you don't have to go to college. You could go to a trade school. You could go to tech school. You could do other stuff. You don't need to go to regular college because I already done showed you how the government, once the government in 2009 guaranteed these loans, which is messed up. What is the debt now? A lot of these people, they can't pay their bills now. Yeah. And I'm going to do videos about that too. So keep out for that. Like I say, 2021 is going to be a lot of stuff coming through the pipe.
Every hole has its own personality. That's nice. But what's wrong is that this luxury is subsidized by taxpayers. That's because the course...
I remember. They don't like Donald Trump because of his golf stuff, whatever. Just remember that.
...is owned by Yale University, which has ironclad tax exemptions. Yale's elegant dining halls pay no property tax.
Hello, Yorkside. Can I help you?
Restaurants in town try to compete, but it's hard because...
we basically pay 1/3 of our rent in taxes. It's insane.
Exactly.
Their tax-exempt competition gets to spend that money on other things, like a pizza oven.
The dining hall where you'll find great food and great friends. This college has a pizza oven. That's why we chose Yale.
Yale is basically a money-making machine.
Politicians tried to tax Yale, but they cannot.
It's written into the Constitution of the state of Connecticut, and they just don't have to pay the way everybody else have to pay.
It's a reason the town has a big budget shortfall, which they're trying to close by ticketing more cars.
That's just what we have to do.
That infuriates people who drive.
They're giving tickets to everyone out there.
Everyone must pay more because colleges get tax breaks, government grants, and government loans.
Their entire business model is actually dependent on the taxpayer.
Education researcher Inez Stepman suggests government defund universities.
They should.
I pushed back.
You make it like it's all government money, but people pay their own way.
Without that lifeblood of those federal student loans, very few universities in the United States would be able to operate. They really are dependent on that federal interference.
They're especially dependent now because college costs so much. When I went, my tuition was less than $2,000. Now it's more than $50,000. Once government increased subsidies for college, Colleges raise tuition prices at 4 times the rate of inflation. They spend extra money not just on golf courses and fancy food.
They're building lazy rivers, they're building rock climbing walls, brand new stadiums,
and even special rooms for delicate students.
The University of Utah has installed a cry closet. Yes, you can now cry in the privacy of your own tiny closet.
Why not spend on everything? Colleges know they can get more money from you.
The largest provider of student financial aid in the country.
There is no check on the cost of a college degree. If students had to walk into Wells Fargo for those loans, Wells Fargo would be looking at whether or not those loans would be paid back. The federal government doesn't ask any of those questions.
So
I remember, and that's why when I talk about this more, I played a clip a while ago in past videos where it shows with Maxine Waters. What you gonna do about these student loans? We don't do student loans since the government take over. What about you, Mr. John? We don't do student loans anymore since the government take over. What about you, Mr. Kingman? I don't do it until the student loans take over. Yeah, and that's Maxine Waters, and you signed the dang bill.
Money's thrown at students who don't benefit from college.
Nope.
Almost half the students who get loans don't graduate in 6 years.
And instead, what you have is $50,000 or $60,000 or $80,000 in debt without the degree to show for it. That's the situation of almost half of students.
Many won't.
And that's why if I'm a parent today, I'm letting you know. But if for me, yeah, that's why I said what I said earlier about making sure it. Find a job that makes it that. Some of these jobs, you don't have to go to college to get some of these jobs. And also, a lot of trade schools, you can make $100,000 being a plumber or HVC guy. Yeah, you get your hand and a mechanic. You get your hands dirty, but God forbid that you get your hands dirty. Mm-hmm.
Ever pay off their loans.
When you get these, what do you do with them?
I put them in a pile and I'm waiting to shred them.
Today,
you prick! You took the money. You can't get the dial, and then you just put it in a pile because you took money invested into you. Nah, see, that's why I don't want free colleges, because if they don't care, it's like the same thing it's the same thing with the birth control crap that we had a couple years ago underneath the Affordable Health Care Act. And I said, if they don't, with the elections, if they don't care then that their vote counted, or the birth control that, or that they gave free money to do what they want, what will make you think doing the whole thing free gonna make it any different? It won't.
American students carry
about $1.5 trillion in federal student loan debt.
So taxpayers lose, students lose.
I owe $108,137.
The winners are rich colleges. Yale's endowment is $31 billion. Yep. Harvard's is even more.
40.
Of course, colleges say they deserve every tax break.
No,
because they're making wiser citizens.
No,
they're not making wiser citizens. They're making citizens who hate their country.
Most colleges educate mostly rather than indoctrinate.
I wish that were true. I was part of the college public,
indoctrinate.
so we were
They mostly
registering
indoctrinate.
voters. And I actually had a professor walk up and spit on me. We had another professor call us the Nazi youth. And these are professors, right?
You need to get out.
Here, a professor tries to find muscle to ban a reporter.
Get this reporter out of here. I need some muscle over here.
All of this funded by the majority of Americans who do not have a 4-year degree. It's offensive that we take dollars out of mechanics' pockets and put them into the pockets of largely middle class and upper middle class students.
But that's what America does. And sadly, our next president wants even more of it.
I can send every single qualified person to a 4-year college in the state for $150 billion.
A lot of money. And even he's confused about that.
After our interview, Mr. Biden's staff told us he misspoke and that the cost of free public college could be twice as much as he said.
$150 billion. Oh, so we double that to... Seriously, dude? So we're going to do $3 billion, what, $4, $5 billion? For what? To get more debt? Nah, that's crazy. I'm not down for that nonsense, but a lot of people are. That's where your taxpayer money goes to. And the elites keep their elitism. Middle class gets shorter and shorter. And the people down in the dumps, yeah, some of them crawl their way up through the system and get to be super rich. I commend them for that. Some crawl away to become middle class, like I did. Hey, I crowd all y'all for that. But some just stay there, and by giving them free stuff, that's gonna keep it better. Yeah, I don't think so. That's not how it works, but it is what it is. So, as usual, thank you guys for joining us for tonight. Hopefully, like I said, I have other, like I said, Project Open Mic is a topical show. Okay, talk about topics that's the biggest thing that's going on right now. So again, I hope I'm not gonna talk about it next week, but we know this thing will push on. Like I said, the last time this happened was in 2000 with George Bush and of course I forgot his name now. He's also hey, really? Al Gore, yes. Al Gore and George Bush. It took about a month to figure that stuff out again. And that was one state, Florida. This is multiple states. So let's see how that works out. Again, I'll say it again. I'm not, if it comes out that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris is the winner, hey, it is what it is. I'll respect the office. I'll do what I do with everybody else is. Hey, I don't want the person who's driving the plane crashing the plane. So I wish them the best of luck. That's just how I am. Because again, I don't want it. Unlike Bill Maher, who asked for it and got it. He got millions of dollars. I don't. Not you guys who watch it don't. So they don't care about that situation. But yes, I'll hope that I don't see it. But I hope, I really do hope that they do the right thing and not this nonsense they've been talking. Because again, going through their whole, when you go to Biden's website and you reach all his what do you call it? His positions and everything else, I'm like, there's two things come up in my mind. That ain't gonna happen. And what the heck are y'all talking about? The fossil fuel thing ain't gonna happen. So anybody would think, oh, let's start fossil fuel. It's not gonna happen. All these things are made with oil. He's not gonna stop that. He stopped stuff in the federal lands like they would. I showed a video earlier. Yeah, they could do that, which will hurt them because again, then you have to look for oil to stuff. You want to be independent of oil so other countries don't control you. But again, it's just logical thinking. Look what happened when we have stuff like again, simple antibiotics is not made in America. When this virus popped off, surprisingly, all that was made in China. How stupid is that of a country to do that? Again, the elites don't care about that. And again, both sides, like I will say, there's nothing more I hate than a Republican and a Democrat. The reason I say that because I hate Republicans because they're weak. I said it in my last show. I explained why I don't like the Republicans in that regard. And also the Democrats have done horrible stuff that nobody's, for some reason the news media keeps on ignoring. Like I always said, KK, Jim Crow Clause. People are like, oh, we want reparations. You do know that it was the Dems of the South who stopped the reparations by putting in the Jim Crow laws, right? So you cannot filibuster. But then we don't teach history in our classes no more. We teach bullcrap. But with that said, just remember, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, race, color, creed, sexuality, anything. Evil is evil. And for me, just remember that not only that, people are stupid, individuals smart. Be that smart individual. That's all I can say to you guys. So with that stated in that regard, I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy your Friday. Hope you don't have a bad day as I did today, and hopefully things will be better tomorrow. Join us on the Sideshow chat tomorrow if you want to join us on it. I don't know what the topic's gonna be about, but check us back again between 8 to 9. Hopefully the computer and stuff don't mess up and whatever we get to it. I apologize for that. If you want to check us out again, you can go to Project Open Mic on YouTube to check out the backlogs. If you have a Twitter page, Project Open Mic, Instagram, Project Open Mic. Again, Tempo, YouTube, Facebook. Thank you all for your time and ears. Peace out and get Tune in next time, next Thursday. Same bad time, same bad channel.